to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing on the cake. Now, the mission at Marketing Pulpit Show is to build strong businesses in our community so that we can put our people to work. And we do that with business development, job creation, and service. So if you ever find yourself in a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit Show because we're on a mission. The show is broadcast live from the illustrious Radio 1 studio.
Good morning and welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. And I'm here on Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. Not here to save your soul. I'm here to save your business, save your job, trying to save our community as well. I'd like to welcome everybody on this second week in December. And I am Robert Gatewood. I am a business developer by trade. I help companies in the business space, particularly small businesses. And I'm also a professor at Prince George's Community College in the DC area. Written a couple of books. I'm in the government space, and I'm just happy to be here to share the airwaves with you today. Got to have an exciting show today. We're going to talk about mindset. This is from the Business Mindset series that we bring you from time to time. And we're going to talk about how certain mindsets you would like to leave in 2025 and how some of us may have come across what we call comfort addiction. We get stuck in a way, we get comfortable, and we don't want to change, and it's killing our businesses. So we're going to talk about that. Yes, this show is mainly talking about the types of tasks you need to be doing, the implementation of business, the strategy, but we also have to get into the mindset because the mindset of an entrepreneur is different than that of somebody who's working from 9 to 5. Not saying that one is better than the other. They're just different. And so we have to look at making sure that we have the mindset, and we have to do a mind check every now and then. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about how to avoid this comfort addiction and how to prepare ourselves for 2026 coming up. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about some items in the news. We're going to talk about this thing that's happening out in Michigan. Man, what's the old saying? If what you're not supposed to do when you're working for somebody was a person, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about keep you abreast of what's happening in the AI and technology worlds. So this is the show you want to tune into if you are a small business owner. And so please feel to share this information with others to make sure that we're not missing out on these valuable tips that we need as we move forward in the business arena. All right, let's get this show started. Let's see here. Last time we were on the show, we were kicking off a new month. This is the month of December that we're in. And of course, this is a good time to check up on how things are doing and to make sure we're getting ready to go into 2026 in the right way. We're gonna jump right into the news today. And also, like I said, if you're a business owner, there's certain things you should be doing right this time of year. You want to make sure you're looking at your financials, you're looking at your systems, you're getting rid of the clutter and junk, not to carry it into 2026. So this is a good month to do that, particularly now when you get into that second and third week of the month. Sales start to slow down unless you're into the retail business and selling Santa Claus items, particularly the service industries. Things tend to slow down. Now, there will be some uptick in certain people who are trying to get, like if you're in the marketing and digital marketing and web development, things like that. A lot of companies are trying to get their digital assets in line for the next new year. So you might see an uptick in business. So keep yourself readied up because those deadlines will sneak up on you. But if you're doing other types of services, you may see a slowdown. This is a good time to take care of some of those housekeeping items like updating your technology, looking at your staff and things like that. We're going to talk about that when we talk about our topic today on comfort addiction and how to avoid it as we get ready for 2026. Let's talk about a few items in the news quickly before we jump into our topic. Man, let me tell you, if you keep talking about entrepreneurship, and we're going to let's pat ourselves on the back for a minute. If you are a business owner and you're running a company, this is a good time of year to acknowledge and sit back and say, look, I made it through another year. I'm my own person. It was tough, but because I am an entrepreneur at heart, I understand the landscape. I know the pitfalls. I know I'm flexible. I know that I have to make changes from time to time, but I made it to another end of the year. I'm about to go into a new year. Now, with that comes some responsibility, but it also, like I say, it gives you a chance to say, I'm different if I am a business owner, particularly if you're doing it as your main source of income. If you're doing it for legacy reasons, you're doing it to leave something behind. And for the people doing the side hustles and doing it on the side, hats off to you too. But I'm particularly talking about people who their main source of income is their business. That's not easy. I'm just going to come out and say it. That's not easy at all. But if you're doing that, you also get some type of liberties. You get to do some things that people that work for some people can't do, which is a segue into my story. Out in on December 10th, Sharon Moore, who was the first black head coach of the University of Michigan, had a $6 million a year salary. He was arrested. He was booked in the county jail following an alleged assault just hours before being terminated at the University of Michigan for an inappropriate relationship. Now, as of last night, he was still in jail, and the formal charges are yet to be filed. Now, the alleged victim is a female staffer that he was accused of having a relationship with. It is alleged that he doubled her salary over the last couple of years from about 50 grand up to 100 grand. And the reason he was in jail is because he assaulted this young lady in her home shortly after he was terminated. It is alleged that he assaulted her, encouraged her to have an abortion, threatened to kill her and himself with a knife. Now, I'm not saying that you can do all these things if you work for yourself. I'm not saying that at all. Matter of fact, I'm saying don't do this. Please don't do this under any circumstances. But you definitely can't pull off these types of shenanigans, and most of these things are alleged, if you're working for somebody. Now, I come on these airways practically every week. I'm trying to encourage people to go out here and start a company, because I want you to have a certain amount of freedom, not to do these kind of things. But my point is, some people get in these jobs, they get these fat salaries, they get the offices, they get the assistants, they get the company car, they get the perks that go with it. And they actually start to think that they run the place, that it's theirs. I don't care if you work at making $60,000 a year or $60 million a year. If somebody else is writing that check, that can be snatched away at the blink of an eye. And I'm tired of reading these stories about people getting these jobs, start making their money, and they forget that they are an employee. Now I'm not making this guy's kind of money, but man, let me tell you, I sleep like a baby at night, knowing that I'm free to some extent. But long as you work, long as you're in this system, you're never 100% free. Somebody can always pull a card on you. But there is something refreshing about being your own boss. And I hope that by being your own boss, you understand that this type of behavior is anathema is to the responsibilities that comes with being a business owner. So I just want to say, take note to the Shannon Sharps of the world, to the Jerome Moores of the world, the OJs of the world. Come on, brothers. We can do better. All right, let's talk about OpenAI launches its best model yet. What is it? Chat GPT 5.2. So he was kind of hearing the footsteps of Google and some of the other AI models creeping up on him. So they're going to come out with a new version of Chat GPT. And the moral of this story is to everybody out here, just stay abreast of what's going on. Also, stay tuned in 2026. Gatewood Marketing has a new product it's going to introduce. It's going to be the perfect tool for business owners. So if you're a small company and you're confused by all of this AI, if you're a business service provider, consultant, and you have clients and you're tired of jumping to 15 different AI agents or models to get things done, we have the solution for you. You can go to one place and do it all. Spit out your EDDM campaigns, write your newsletters, create your social media posts, review your contracts. It's all coming down the pike. So stay tuned. Gatewood Marketing, we have been your trusted provider of resources for the past 20 years, and we plan to stay that. So don't let this AI pass you by, but don't be frightened by it, because we have something coming down the pike for you. So stay tuned. We'll be announcing that coming up in the next few days. So hang in there. Help is on the way. All right, let's get into our story for today. And for those who are tuning in for the first time, this is Marketing Pulpit. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. We're here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. What I'm going to do before I get into my story today, we're going to talk about mindset. Let's do a quick break. And this show is sponsored by BLE Executive Suites. And they've been doing that for the past few years. So hang on a second. We'll be back in a minute. We're back. This is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host, and we're here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. We started this show back in 2010. Wow, it's 15 years ago. Over at Radio One, and we have been hanging in there. We're serving a need in the community of helping our small business community survive and thrive, because that's the foundation of most communities. If you don't have a thriving financial foundation, you're going to have all kind of problems. And the small businesses of the world hire most of the people, what they should, in your community. Unfortunately, many of us have to go to other communities. Sometimes those communities really don't like you, and so you're going to people that don't have your best interest in heart, and you're asking them to hire you. Well, the answer to that is to create businesses that can hire the people in the community. So when your kids and your adults and people like that need employment, then you have a resource. But you have to keep up. You have to know what's going on. You have to have your hand on the pulse of what's happening in the business community. And that's where we come in. We are the town crier. So just stay right here and we'll keep you abreast of what's going on. Let's talk about this mindset for a minute. I'm going to call them mindset traps that keep you stuck in the past. Many businesses fail not because they don't have a good product or a good service or the time is not right. Sometimes it's simple as the mindset of the owners. They're just not thinking like a business owner, which is different than somebody who has a 9 to 5 job. One is not better than the other, they're just different. So these are some of these traps that hold you back. And in some cases, really just plain put you out of business. Well, here's one, you're clinging to that old mindset of this is the way we've always done it. You may have done it that way in 2020 or 1999, but it may not be applicable in 2025 and 2026. It's probably obsolete. Sometimes the market is just plain moved on. So you're clinging on to those one or two people who are stuck back in the past with you, thinking that's going to save you. It's just not enough of them. Sorry about that. I got cut in my throat. So those people have moved on. Most of the younger people, the bigger markets, they've moved on. And you have to either move along with them or rewrite your business model. Another mindset trap is this fear of technology, thinking it's going to change or there's a fad, avoiding things like AI and automation and social media and digital marketing. You're just letting your competition get ahead of you. And sometimes they get so far ahead, you can literally never catch up. Another killer is waiting for things to be perfect before you launch or get out there. Oh, one more second again. Hold on a second. Gotta go clear my throat again. I am back. So waiting on the perfect conditions to launch or to be bold or to take these grand moves, it's a killer. Look at these big companies, these people like Altman and Zuckerberg, and man, they'll throw some junk out there and use you as the guinea pig to get it perfect. Well, I don't say throw junk out here, but don't be waiting on perfection and letting everybody get ahead of you. Sometimes these ideas, you have to act on them very fast to bring in that first wave of innovators and early adapters. So don't be waiting on perfection. That's a killer. Also, don't be treating change as a threat. Change is going to come. Sam Cooke, a long time coming, but I know change is going to come. Change is a good thing if you adapt. If you're stuck in the past with a bad mindset, change can be your undoing. Now, I know we think we have this good gut instinct. Me, I'm guilty of it. So my gut told me. Yes, there are some innate qualities that come with good business minded people, but you can't over rely on it. Back it up with some data, some facts, some experience. Bring in some help. Go get a consultation. On my website, Gatewood Marketing, I have a big red button. I will give anybody 15 minutes of my time for free. You have to get on the schedule. So run that gut instinct through a seasoned veteran. Another man killer is giving up control. I'm guilty of that again. When you built something, you want to have your hand on every button. I mean, I consider myself a good strategist, web designer, graphic designer, AI designer. And sometimes I just hate to give up that control because I feel like the folks that I'm going to hand it off to is not going to have my vision. Well, there's some pretty smart people out here. You don't have to give up control totally, but you have to delegate to people. You have to delegate to automation. Failure to do that is going to keep you stuck. Okay? And sometimes you get another mindset. You get wedded to people. Okay, they've been with you since you started. They're a family member. They help you out somewhere along the way. There may be a role for them in your life. Maybe they make a good drinking buddy or a good golf partner or a good whatever. Sometimes they don't belong in your business, or at least not in the position you have them in. That loyalty should have some limits. I'm not saying kick good people to the curb. I have people in my company that I've been hanging on to for 20 years, but I will move them around. If they're not keeping up in one area, I'll put them somewhere else. I may scale back, but it's okay to hang on to good folks, but don't let the wrong person in the wrong position put your business at risk. Well, here's another, just telling you about mindset killers that we want to leave back in 2025, not carry over into 2026. Some of these things can really be detrimental. They can do you in. I want to say good morning to Attorney Bradley Thomas. Great brother. Like Bradley Thomas, he's been around. He's been one of my clients now since Buck was a calf. Since Chet was a puppy. So Mr. Bradley said he's been busy this morning. That's a good thing. Hope that means some of the good advice and things I've done for him over the years is paying off. He's so busy he can't come here and listen to this message this morning. Yes, Attorney Thomas, that is a good thing. Thank you for joining us this morning. And Bradley Thomas is one of my clients. Great brother. He has his own show on Thursdays at noon. And he's one of those folks that you want in your corner if you have any type of legal issues. So check him out at bradleythomaslaw.com and let him give you a consultation. Another bad habit in the mindset is, let me just put this in, your brand. Do not undervalue your brand. That is what people think of you, how they see you. It's not always about building the best mousetrap, having the best service or product. What do people think of you? What do they think when they see your logo or your colors? Hopefully when somebody sees my logo, Gatewood, they think of quality service, they think of professionalism, they think of customer service, they think of friendliness. We'll work on the project as many times as we have to get it right. Patience. You're never going to see us get angry and not return your call. So you've got to build a brand beyond just putting out a good product. If not, you're going to lose to AI every time. Some people are going to come to me, even though they could have gotten it from AI. I know this because sometimes they'll bring the AI sheet with them. This happened to me twice this week. Two very good clients that have been with me over 10 years. We had meetings, and both of them brought their AI printout with them. In other words, they're like, I like AI, but I trust Gatewood. That's the power of branding. Do not underestimate the power of branding. Your work will speak for itself. Now, another mindset, I'm talking about mindsets today on things you need to leave in 2025. We're talking about mindset traps. We're talking about avoiding comfort or addiction. Yeah, you had a good year, good last 5 years. Don't get comfortable, okay? Now, you can make a mistake believing your customers haven't changed. Some of those customers disappeared, not because you were doing bad work, not because they're disloyal, because they have changed and you didn't. So you have to check in with them. Send out your newsletters, make the personal emails. They're doing DM now. You have to slide in that DM. I know that has like a negative connotation these days. Somebody slide in your DM. But it can be very applicable to business. Matter of fact, the story we talked about earlier is our coach, Sharon Moore. Some model popped up in the last few days and said he'd been sliding in her DM. I think this OnlyFans model. So we're talking about the good sliding in the DM for this. Check on people. Because they're going to say, well, this AI thing came along, but I just figured you didn't do that. Well, if we do, so I need to let you know. Let me call you up. Let me send you an email. So customers change. Brad said, watch your mouth. I'm trying, brother. It's news, though. It's news. It's hard to watch your mouth nowadays. Another mindset is confusing activity with progress. I think we call this like wiggling the wires. People come to work. You know, your boss. When I used to work when I had a job when I was an employee, and the boss walked past your office, you'd have to be doing something to like let them know you're working. You might have the TV on your screen and watching the game. So you start wiggling some wires or shuffling some papers to give the illusion that you're working. Well, that might work for your boss to keep you employed, but that's not going to work if you're the boss. If you are the boss and you're trying to run a company, that activity needs to be moving you forward. You can't just be wiggling wires and shuffling papers. That's a mindset trap. The illusion of I'm busy, I'm being productive. You're not being productive. You're just fooling yourself. Here's my final one. You're trying to you get stuck into this scarcity mindset. So what do I mean by that? You see all this stuff on the news, the big companies gobbling up companies. They have this great ecosystem. You got a Walmart just moved in next door to you. And you actually start to sink into this mindset that there's not enough business out there. There's no opportunity for me. I can't grow in this environment. Things are tough. What is that? Think it and it will be. I tell you, I like to use myself as the poster boy for most of the things that I talk about. The good and the bad. And in fact, most of the time I share the stories because of some minefield I'm trying to help you avoid. But I've always been of this mindset that there's room for one more if we do it right. I'm not worried about when social media came out. I wasn't worried about losing business. When the websites became hot back in 1998, I wasn't worried about losing business. You know why? Because I kept up. I knew that I had attracted a certain amount of people that trusted and believed in me. They believed in my brand. And when these changes happen, they need somebody to guide them through these minefields. We're seeing this again with AI. And I'm going to do it again. So what you have to do is to get out of this mindset that it's impossible. The competition is too tough. There's not enough to go around. Well, what you need to do, look at partnering, look at building a collaborative base of people, look at sharing your skills and knowledge, look at automation, look at reinventing yourself. There's plenty of money out here. Elon Musk doesn't have it all, damn near, but let's be real, this guy's getting $1 trillion a year. You think he's getting it all, but he hasn't. So to tie this into the story, the news story today about Sharon Moore and this mindset is that, first of all, pat yourself on the back that you haven't embroiled yourself in that type of controversy. Pat yourself on the back again that you are your own person if you're a business owner. You might not make $6 million a year, but if you've taken heed of some of the sermons we've done in the past, we talked about why you don't need to make $6 million, because you change your mindset on spending. think it was the great philosopher Horace who says, he who has learned to live upon a little will do okay, something along that line. You don't need 6 million a year. My peace of mind is more important. I'll take the 6 million, don't get me wrong. But and also stay out of these country universities, ladies and gentlemen, whether you work for yourself or whether you own a business, don't have relationships with your staff. Don't knock them up. Don't threaten them with a knife. Don't threaten to kill yourself. Don't get hung up on this belief that because they're paying me all this money and I'm the comfortable person of the day, that they won't snatch it from under you in the blink of an eye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again. Thank you again. I'm Robert Gatewood. I am a business developer by trade. I don't claim to know it all. I'm still learning. And I want to bring you along with me to help us gather this information. So come on, if you'd like to come on the air one day and join me, just send me a note. Go to marketingpulpit.com. You can also go to my company, gatewoodmarketing.com. We're on all the social media platforms, most of them anyway. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. You can slide into my DM. Only for business now. That's gonna get me in trouble. All right, folks. As I end every show, we'll be back again next week, bringing you the good marketing gospel. If you want to be successful, I mean, it's not easy, but it's not that hard. If you do these 3 things, do the right thing. The right thing, not just economically, functionality, but also ethically. Do it at the right time, and you must do it right. Enough talk. Let's get to work.
Woke up.